games left, and that's why I look at
course.
consistency. So even though Sky and Scroll may have fell early, they're still in a lead. They still have a cushion, and they still have a game to spare.
And it's easy to try and fixate on that top 5, but there is still a lot of contention for top 15. Daniko's Diggs, Reason, Noah Riley, who's going to be the first one to fall.
Who's Reason, chat?
Nice. The both of them are able to get the floor loop.
Wait, who's Reason?
A huge advantage here now in numbers. Siphon comes in. Reason is respectfully full health. Now Danny Kush tries to be the hero, but he ends up going down.
Doing it for the fans.
These are Germany's, bro.
At the sight of that
Deutschland, bro.
And Reason and Noah will play this game out.
Reason, he end up maybe a little bit of practice in between the games of 4 and 5 on that 1v1 box fighting map makes a difference.
I had to watch Peter Ball play, bro. But I was muted this whole time.
This is where
I was fucking
Reason
muted,
right now,
bro.
they have a chance to start to build that confidence. We really haven't seen them in this position in a few games. Now they're able to win off spawn, right? And since they didn't have a lot of shields, they didn't lose a lot of HP. So in the overall Storm Surge battle, they had to have come out on top.
It's not often we get to see Chap and Flixie just farming things out. It's been so expected that they would have to try and duke it out for their spot south of New Sanctuary, but teams starting to realize, starting to understand, if we want any sort of momentum on the secondary half of today's lobbies, we're gonna have to survive it first, and Vico not gonna allow that for Cole.
Who is this, bro? Who is this, chat? Who is this kid, bro?
It's so hard at the top.
Yeah, who is this, bro? Who's Vico, bro? Vico, whatever it is, bro.
And if this first fight is a sign of intent, then Sky is going to have to look closely over their shoulder. Vico and Malabuka.
Oh, Vico, it's how you pronounce Vico.
And you
Virgo.
have to remember, Vico Malabuka, they've already done it once to Sky
Wait,
and Scroll.
Buga is playing,
Granted, it took place in a Divisional Cup Finals,
God damn it,
but
bro.
the impact is still there. A lesson was learned. And for Chino Pablo, that might be teaching a really big one right here, right now, in a moment, to Jason Liam.
You gotta be careful. This is the same exact thing they did in that last game. They found it successful, and they're trying it again. Don't fix what isn't broken. Jason Liam, they have not got the memo, and they're separated as two different individuals. Luckily for Jace, though, he's gonna narrowly escape danger. He doesn't even know how close he just got to getting taken down by Chino and Pablo.
It's one of those instances where you can't help but hold your breath. You expect that Chino Pablo are still going to have the upper hand here. Liam, Jace, they're splitting the loot. They're feeling like they've gotten the ability to bring things together. And Pablo, Chino just staring them down. They know Jace is right behind. And Jace might be finished, but the patience, the reservation here, the trigger fingers not firing off.
That's just the little decisions that really carry on to the end game. Left instead of right, up instead of down. Jason Liam don't know, but they made the right call.
Yeah, I don't know if that patience was worth it from Pablo and Chino, unless they come back around and get something better from it. In this meta, you just got to take the damage, I feel. And yeah, that opportunity has completely slipped through the fingers. Now Liam and Jace are long gone.
Jace
Still,
1X,
I understand why they didn't pull the trigger.
Bro.
They felt like they had a big fish waiting for them.
High Sky? Wait, is High Sky?
But they didn't take the bait. Scroll, Sky. I mean, what more can we say about these two? Plenty to say about this situation here. Ju left alone as a solo against Yapko and Panzer, who we have seen them in box fights like this today, and they have been relentless.
Yeah, in terms of just straight damage and controlling the top side of the map, they've done a wonderful job so far. They just need to be able to convert that into either high elimination games or playing into the top 10 consistently to close the day. But for Ju, he's just kind of waiting in the wings. He just has to have this moment here where he does nothing. But Taco, he's officially on the clock. There's no extra heals in his inventory, and he's now in the zone.
And even if he's able to scavenge some bandages, a med kit, it just might not matter. Yakko Panzer can hold him, but Curve, get him, Braggy with it. I know that he's still got a long way to go before he makes his way towards the top, but every little bit helps at any stage.
Akira versus Kurama, bro.
Akira and Kurama.
Wait, they're the same team, bro.
A team we've seen much of in these
mid-games.
They've been an ever-present force.
The same team, bro.
Still yet to be the protagonist of one of these end games.
the 9th Fox.
Looks like they're going to run into Kindex and Phantom,
the anime,
who have something cooking up for them.
That
Will
one,
these
the
guys
anime
waltz
movie
into
from
that
the
building?
90s, from the 80s, bro. Or some shit.
Oh, they're hoping so.
This is part of the problem that kind of gets established over at Battlewood Boulevard when you have so many teams just setting up, posturing, preparing
Bro,
for
they're
the
harding,
ultimate
bro.
ambush. Akira Kurama, they're going to be spotted out first and foremost by
harding
Venom,
this shit, bro.
who's trying to stir a little bit of a fuss here, but Curb on the other side of things, he might just be too isolated.
This is playing out perfectly for Phantom and 2NDX. They get the elimination. The work works out perfectly. Now they're able to kind of bolster their loadout a little bit more, and for Veno, you can definitely feel the pain.
There's just too many buildings. There's too many hiding holes, and that's part of the reason why Akira Kurama is taking advantage of some of the chaos, but it's not the big punch you'd expect. Just a little bit to kind of lean off
Continuing
that fight.
Sucking on my back, bro.
Well, all this is going down the south side of Battlewood Boulevard. You got to think Sky and Score getting the best of it, but Noah Riley trying to save the day. Razan is already down, but he's able to clean up one elimination rather quickly, kind of forcing lone member there on the other side to try to
this has got to be really insane.
Or do I try to be the hero, get
really,
the reboot card, and come back to visit this situation later? Noah Riley does look like he's going to find success on that revive, so Panzer's time here has run out. No choice but to disengage.
Where does that leave them as far as this game is concerned? Recovery isn't impossible, but it is improbable, you'd say, for a team that has had their fair share of struggles today. Speaking of struggles, Drew on the other side.
So Peter Ball, wait, Chad, y'all telling me that Peter Ball didn't want
wants
before?
to see in this position right now.
Man, that's crazy.
You just can't forget, Ju's been here the entire time. While Yapko and
Let me
Panzer
pick
are
something to eat,
preoccupied
Chad,
trying
while I'm
to deal
watching
with the
this,
likes of
bro.
Noah Riley and Razan, they encounter this whole new problem of Vidil now being brought back into the mix. Granted, there's still a lot of damage left to be undone here. Ju and Vidil have a far ways to go before they make it into zone. All of the teams that are ahead of them, all of the teams that could potentially be looking to run back this direction too for that reboot inside of the storm, it's just not going to be very easy to climb their way out.
Oh, sneak plays. We like to see them.
God damn it, bro.
Oh my
You got cooked,
God,
bro. Nah,
he really thought he had it. The stair was in the way, and as soon as the stair came down,
that's crazy,
it was like
Shad.
a jump
That's
scare. A
crazy.
whole team jumping into the box, turning that one around rather quickly.
Oh.
For a moment, I think we all thought that he had
Hold
him,
that
but
shotgun,
darn
bro.
Deemish, they understand. They cannot afford another lobby when the standings are this tightly knit.
Hold that shotgun,
Going
bro.
out before the placement points really have a chance to impact things would just be devastating because all these other teams inside the top 6 specifically have more than enough opportunity to catch up and overtake.
Pixie and Squizzy over towards Squibbly Shores. Trying to make their move all the way over from Dark Dominion. Rather now instead of later with the rest of the lobby. It's going to make it hard to maintain your position on Surge. Ju probably spots out a reboot coming through, able to get a knock onto Yapko, but a whole nother duo comes to crash the party. And there's a 14 at the bottom that's moving closer and closer. But the one right here that he has to worry about is Cold and Rapid. They're trying to close in on the distance. And while they're focused on Ju, a revive is going to come out. Scary and Sayas as well.
Damn, bro.
That was that 14 I was talking about. Shoot off into the distance and clean up that elimination onto Ju.
That frustration really starting to build up because when you are at that 82, 90 points range, it's hard not to overtake it, but Rapid Cold, don't get distracted now.
Yeah, we have to remember, for a team like Vidil and Ju, the prospect of falling and getting a top 15 to be able to solidify a spot for the global championship would be everything. These guys want more than that. And Yapko and Panzer, again, in one of these fights here in Storm, not somebody to play with, even if you're Cold and Rapid.
Fresh off of what looked like a revive situation down in the dirt. I'm not sure how they opened that one up on the Cold. They took him down, and now they leave Rapid in a peculiar situation. He has enough gold. He can bypass this situation and try to get the reboot, but I'm not sure he wants to leave all that loot behind.
I just watched Yapko go from 15 builds to over 110. He got his loot llama. He doesn't need to stick around to see what happens next with Rapid. They know they need to get out of dodge and start actually making their way towards the zone. down by Rapid. He's sick of it. You're gonna ruin my game. I'll think you're with me. Yapko has been knocked. The delay now for Panzer. Do I commit or do I back off? But Rapid's not gonna let it happen.
Rapid, who are you feeling like? I mean, if this is what you're gonna do, then we really want to see more of you right now. Panzer needs to be careful because Rapid is not messing about. Even with the free builds he has, you still fancy him here to find something. Panzer just has to regain control, use the mat advantage he has to keep the distance, keep the separation, and keep the angles in his favor.
And for Rapid, that was huge. Going into a 2v1 situation at that, and now he's trying to put pressure. Doesn't want to let the revive come out. A fake shockwave, and the elimination comes through either way. Rapid kind of even in that exchange, but you could see he wasn't able to get any of that loot. Only 6 builds left to his name, so wherever he goes for that reboot, Panzer will be there.
He was so prepared for the challenge, but he had 0 materials. He could not afford to just charge head on into where Panzer was directed, but the damage has still been done. Panzer will have to play this game as a solo for the time being, and making it to a reboot ban with so many other teams closing in is not going to be easy.
Great to see that Vico and Malabuka are back up. Earlier in the game, I did see in the feed that they were taken down, left as a solo, but right back at it. That's what happens sometimes when you have Frigid Fortress to yourself. The zone goes to the south. There's a lot of open space and opportunity, which is needed by Vico and Malabuka. They're the team that's right on the heels of Sky and Scroll, especially for them that are performing so well.
Well, Peter is playing right now.
Talking about teams putting in big performances. What we just witnessed from Pollo in that last lobby, absolutely disgusting, but they're going to need even more still. They're really going to have to put the pedal to the metal. They are still trailing in terms of top 5 potential here, but with Pollo and Peterbot, if they can keep firing off on all cylinders, it might just be game over.
The trend we've seen with Pete and Pollo is that they like to heat up towards the back end of competitions. And usually we see that in 6-game tournaments, right? Where game 5 and 6, they have their pop-off moment. We got a couple more games after that. What happens when that continues and continues and the momentum builds? Are they still a potential threat at the top of this leaderboard? These two will try and make that not possible with just how consistent they are.
It's just so scary, though, if you're Scroll and Sky, because you are leading the pack. You are ahead in the standings, but you also have all of that additional pressure. They are our Major 1 champions for EU, but even after that accomplishment, it's another thing entirely to pursue it and receive it and take it over in a LAN environment.
Essentially, this game right here,
My mutual
about
might,
46 or so point difference as of now. Sky and Scroll still leading in first, but you have multiple teams, including Acorn and Bolts, hot on those heels.
You're
For
telling
them,
me this
they're
guy's been yapping
183
straight up
above
for
the
10
damage
minutes.
threshold. Bolts and Acorn have been playing consistent. They have a
This
win
dude. Oh, there we
in
go. He
the
muted
tournament
up.
so far today.
Fine,
It's just
dying.
about making it really matter in the last half. And I think one of the biggest
Damn,
differences,
so gonna be playing
especially for a
FIFA?
team like Acorn and Bolts,
Wow.
is they don't necessarily go
Peter's
elimination
gonna win,
crazy.
bro. Trust me, bet me. Peter's going to win.
Could be the
bro.
case. Shark and Teeny, though,
Peter's going to
certainly a
win.
team
what
that
team
can
is this guy
deliver
playing
those
as?
big-time performances. Heavy elimination, strong placements, but first, they're going to need to see if they can take out Garden and
bro,
Demon.
that-
Caught them a little bit off guard here. Going to force out the builds, spot of retreat, but Shark is just beaming anybody he can in the lobby. He needs all the damage he can get right now because they are currently still sitting just above that damage threshold. And as the players start to rift in
you're in
overhead
the
of Humble
storm,
Hills, this could be even more
You're the
complicated.
top of the fucking storm, twin.
Still, shots are connecting. You can't overstay. It is going to go from 2 tick per second that you're inside of the zone to 5 ticks, so he immediately tries to beeline his way there. Rightfully so, because you look at where the zone pulls all the way across the map. Max pull for the majority of the lobby. We're headed on over to Battlewood.
Pretty big confidence decision, though, from Shark. He was hanging out in the storm so far away from his duo, Teeny, and yet they weren't punished for it. They kind of scouted out the fact that they had an opening for Shark to kind of stick around, look to try and punish some players. We're a little bit later than the rest of the lobby, but now Swizzy, Pixie, they're on pace to try and take over the top half of that leaderboard.
See with just how this zone is shaping up, all those early rotations will be crucial. This isn't the type of zone where you want to be running in late. It is so easy to get focused here as these players move in. Pixie, Swizzy, looking for a refresh, looking for any sign of weakness. They won't find it in Vico Malabuka. Those guys are looking good. Shark and TV, a tournament-defining game for these two.
Yeah, as soon as they made it inside of the zone on this side of the map, Teeny immediately took damage from Belusi and Zangi down below. But I like the approach. Instead of getting aggressive and trying to fight back, they're letting them move forward. We'll follow them in the rotation with these shockwaves because right now we don't need Surge. We just need to survive.
But that pizza box was the last of their resources. They don't really have a whole lot in the White Heels department. And for Sky, Scroll, the pressure is on. Kanata, Victor B, trying to see if they could challenge and take down their EU opposition here, but Scroll and Sky will have none of it. They are protecting
what did I
their
lost?
space,
What did I lose, bro?
refusing to allow anyone to try and catch them off guard.
Like, this is the point in the game. You almost have to have Sky and Scroll go down because this is where they excel the most in the end game, whether they're together as a duo or playing as individuals. So as the day continues to go on, depending on where they're at in the leaderboard, I want to see somebody try to make a play.
This is exactly what we were talking about. It was always going to be a tough task for Ritual to rotate in, and those guys took the opportunity. Again, we see Sky looking to get a bit more advantage as far as Surge is concerned, not looking as comfortable as we typically see them.
And part of this issue is just stemming from the fact that when they were based up in their hill position, all of that action was taking place on the south side of Battlewood Boulevard. They didn't really have the best opportunities to establish any early surge because everyone was hiding out inside the buildings instead. So that's bleeding over into their problems right now. But Sharktini, they're creating so many issues in the lobby.
Shark he's trying to cook something up right now. He might be overcooking. Just got to take a moment to breathe and stay and follow Teeny. Vico, what are these guys cooking?
That was tough. A big elim there because that is not just elimination. You saw they locked that player outside of the lobby. That means they're one step closer to placement, just like Peter Bot and Poyo. They caught fire in that last game. And what a better time to catch fire in the second half of today's tournament. 91 above the damage threshold. Peter Bot and Poyo are looking for more.
Will lightning strike twice is the question. Can we have another crazy performance that leads to a win for those two? There's plenty of people in this lobby who are going to get in the way of that. Vico and Malabuka poised to do just that from this position here. Great priority as far as being elevated into moving into that next zone. Sky and Scroll, this is just not where we want to see them, looking so uncomfortable, looking desperate for damage.
This is a nightmare of a scenario 11, 87 below the damage threshold. No extra heals. They're able to bump right up the top of that damage threshold, but they have to rotate again. They have no extra shields, but they're on the front side of the zone. They built themselves a little space. Shark and Teeny, aggression turns to bite them in the behind instead. They lose all of their shield, all of their momentum right there in that one moment.
But both still trying to keep it rolling here on the low ground. Vico Malabuka, they've had the chance to heal, and that might have been the only breathing room they needed. Vico Malabuka now going to start to make their approach from the backside of zone. Who's going to be next? They're going to continue to wrap around. They've got the white heels. They can afford to tank a couple of ticks of storm, but Bolt's coned up. Build so limited. 80 left on the Chug Jug. He's going to try and play his own life, buy a little bit more time.
Bro, who's going to win this set, bro?
They've eliminated enough
Peter,
players,
bro.
but can they get
Oh my God, wait.
They're going to need the refresh.
Peter just got killed.
Is down, but that's okay. It's time for a flashback performance from Peter Bot. But can he stop the freight train? That is Teeny
Peter got
and
killed?
Shark. Bolts is doing his best, but he's just ran out of builds, trying to hide the cone. He gets found out. He's seeking for more. Victor B gets struck down by lightning, but Bolts cannot pick up the elimination. Even Scroll, they're feeling that same pain, separated once again.
But now it's Sky's turn to pick up the ball and carry it forward. Sky doing everything. 5 overdrive grenades, but only 39 HP. Flowberry missed grenade. He knows there's a team that could potentially be trying to make a play for height. He's going to be able to siphon off some shield from it, but first and foremost, he has to figure out where can I go next, because bodies are just surrounding him everywhere and they're closing in.
And even with Vico and Malabuka's best efforts in this game, the longer Sky stays alive, the harder it is to catch up. He is doing everything he needs to right now.
Yeah, into the top 12. Half of the placement points come in at that top 10 marker. But again, he's aggressed. Shockwave's out of position once more, but he's quickly running out of builds. A lot of his resources going right down the drain, but an opportunity there onto Dark. Breaks into the wall. Oh my, a perfectly placed ramp is going to save the day and allow for Sky to not get the elimination, but he's still on the hunt for more.
No build.
Armor.
He's gonna keep hitting shots like that if
We
they
cooking
present
this shit, bro.
themselves.
We
And
cooking
Sky
this
now
shit, bro.
patiently waiting for that next opportunity to strike.
Sky trying to see just how far can he carry the torch forward, but look
Yeah,
from
bro.
the land down under, way up above the rest
Whoa,
of the
Kitty
lobby.
got killed, bro.
Tinka and Resigns. They've just been silently building.
Chat. This is it, bro. We gotta keep going, man. We gotta keep grinding, chat, bro.